People will do anything, no matter how absurd, in order to avoid facing their own soul. But one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Carl Jung. Maybe you've had that morning when you wake up and everything feels strangely empty. Work doesn't excite you, friendships feel hollow, even the passions that once gave you joy seem to have lost their spark. It's as if the entire world has been drained of color, leaving you with a quiet, gnawing sense that nothing matters anymore. That heaviness isn't just boredom, it's something deeper, something that speaks from the core of your being. Jung understood this state well. He saw it not as a failure or a flaw, but as a signal from the psyche, a call from the unconscious that you are living disconnected from who you truly are. When life loses its meaning, it's often because we've strayed too far from our authentic self, burying our real desires under layers of roles, expectations, and masks we wear for others. The emptiness you feel is not random. It is the shadow whispering that parts of you have been neglected, forgotten, or even denied. Jung believed that in these dark, uncomfortable moments lies the beginning of transformation. They are invitations, however painful, to turn inward, to explore what we've ignored, and to begin the long process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole. And that is what we will explore today. This isn't about quick fixes or shallow motivation. It's about understanding the profound truth Jung uncovered, that the loss of interest in life is not the end, but the beginning of a deeper search for meaning. So in this video, we'll step into Jung's perspective to uncover why this emptiness arises, what it reveals about the human condition, and most importantly, how you can begin to rediscover meaning when nothing feels interesting anymore. Why do we reach that unsettling place where nothing feels interesting anymore? Carl Jung believed it happens when we drift away from our true self, the deepest and most authentic core of who we are. From a young age, we begin to shape ourselves around the expectations of parents, teachers, society, and culture, often sacrificing what feels natural to us in order to fit in or be accepted. Over time, this adaptation hardens into what Jung called the persona, the social mask we wear to survive and succeed in the external world. On the surface, the persona can be useful. It helps us navigate careers, relationships, and roles. But if it dominates us, if we become identified only with this mask, we lose touch with the genuine desires, impulses, and dreams that belong to our inner life. The result is a quiet sense of estrangement from ourselves. We wake up one day to find that the life we are living is not really ours, and so naturally, nothing within it feels truly alive. Alongside this, Jung introduced the idea of the shadow. All the parts of us we push away, deny, or repress because they don't align with our persona or with how we want to be seen. These shadow elements don't disappear simply because we reject them. Instead, they sink into the unconscious, waiting. When left unacknowledged, they manifest as inner emptiness, restlessness, or even depression. The absence of interest in life is often the voice of the shadow crying out, reminding us that we cannot ignore our wholeness without paying a price. We sense an inner imbalance, a vague but persistent awareness that something essential is missing. Jung insisted that real vitality comes only when we make peace with these disowned aspects of ourselves, when we face them honestly instead of running away. And beneath both the persona and the shadow lies the deeper journey Jung called individuation, the lifelong process of becoming who we are meant to be. To individuate is not to chase pleasure or success in a superficial sense, but to integrate the many layers of the psyche, to bring together the conscious self with the unconscious, and to live from a place of inner alignment. When this journey is neglected, when we avoid the difficult work of facing ourselves, life inevitably begins to feel flat and meaningless. We may achieve accomplishments, collect possessions, or maintain appearances, but a nagging emptiness remains because we are not living our own story. We are living someone else's. Jung saw this not as a sign of failure, but as a profound warning signal, a call from the depths of the psyche urging us to turn inward. The loss of interest, the deadening of joy, is the soul's way of demanding that we pay attention. It is the first step in recognizing that something must change. In this way, what appears as despair is also an invitation. It is the threshold to a deeper life, if we are willing to listen. So how do we begin to find meaning again when everything feels flat and lifeless? Jung's answer was never about quick motivational tricks, but about turning inward with courage and honesty. The first step is to face yourself without masks. That means creating spaces where you can be radically truthful with yourself, through journaling, through deep reflection, or, when possible, through analytical therapy. Writing down your thoughts and emotions each day is not a trivial act. It is a mirror that slowly reveals patterns, wounds, and longings that the persona has been hiding. Jung insisted that we must not deny our shadow, but bring it into consciousness, acknowledge the parts of ourselves we've rejected, and integrate them into our story. Avoidance breeds emptiness. Confrontation, though difficult, brings wholeness. Another pathway Jung emphasized is attention to dreams. He believed dreams are not random illusions, but living messages from the unconscious, guiding us toward what our conscious mind ignores. Keeping a dream journal and reflecting on the images, symbols, and emotions that appear can uncover hidden needs or neglected desires, offering a map back to our authentic self. Beyond dreams, meaning is often revealed through symbols and myths that resonate with us personally. Jung argued that the human soul speaks in symbols, and when a particular image, story, or piece of art stirs something deep within, it is worth listening. Following these threads can lead us closer to the values and truths that actually belong to us, not to the expectations of others. And meaning is not found only in the abstract, it is grounded in the simple but profound experiences of life. Walking in nature, creating something with your hands, sharing an honest conversation, or losing yourself in music or art. Jung believed these seemingly small acts reconnect us to the primordial rhythms of life and remind us of what it means to be human. When we allow ourselves to return to the natural, the creative, and the authentic, we begin to feel the spark of interest again, not as fleeting excitement, but as a steady sense of alignment. Finding meaning is not about chasing constant pleasure. It is about learning to live in dialogue with the unconscious, integrating the shadow, listening to dreams, and cultivating a life that feels symbolically rich and emotionally honest. Jung's wisdom tells us that the emptiness we dread can become a doorway, and by walking through it with awareness, we rediscover not only meaning, but also a renewed capacity for joy. In the end, when we lose interest in life, it is not simply a passing mood or a sign of weakness. It is a profound signal from deep within, reminding us that we've drifted away from our true self. Jung saw this emptiness not as a dead end, but as a doorway, an invitation to step into the work of reconnecting with who we really are. He believed that the very moments we fear, the silence, the boredom, the loss of meaning, can become the starting point of transformation if we are willing to listen. So when you find yourself wondering why nothing feels interesting anymore, remember, it is your soul asking for honesty, for attention, and for a return to authenticity. Jung never treated the void as the final word. He treated it as the first step toward a deeper life. Perhaps the real question is not why the world feels empty, but what part of yourself you have lost along the way and need to recover. Ask yourself today, what have I neglected within me, and how can I begin to bring it back into the light? Because it is in answering that question that we move from emptiness toward meaning. And if this reflection resonated with you, consider subscribing for more explorations into Jung's timeless wisdom and the search for a life that feels real, whole, and alive.